Ever wish you had like a whole team of AI specialists, at your fingertips, each one like an absolute pro at their one specific thing?
Mhm.
Well, that's kind of the future that OpenAI is playing around with.
Yeah.
Swarm, it's their experimental framework.
Right.
It's all about making different AIs work together like a real team.
It's true. It's true. And what's really got everyone talking is this whole idea of moving away from these AI models that try to do it all, right?
Right.
And instead, it's like, what if we had a bunch of specialized AI agents all working together in a coordinated way?
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah, it's generating a lot of buzz because it could completely change what we can even do with AI.
Okay, so OpenAI is clearly onto something pretty huge here.
Definitely, definitely.
But they're also the first to admit that Swarm is, well, still a work in progress.
Exactly, exactly. They keep using the word experimental, which is a good sign that,
Right.
it's not quite ready for prime time.
Yeah.
But it's like a sneak peek into where AI might be headed, where instead of one AI trying to juggle everything, you have all these specialized agents for each little task, and they just hand things off to each other seamlessly.
Okay, so picture this, right? You're building a chatbot
Okay.
for a company, but instead of just one AI trying to answer every single question, book appointments, deal with complaints,
Right.
you've got a specialized agent for each of those things.
I love it.
So one AI is great at like those basic FAQs.
Right.
Another one's like a scheduling whiz.
Yeah.
And then you've got one that's, really good at those, let's say, passionate customer interactions.
Yes. And that's where it gets really interesting. So let's say a customer comes in and they've got a simple question, maybe about store hours, right?
Right.
Our FAQ agent nails it. But then they're like, oh, and by the way, I need to complain about an order.
Uh-oh.
Swarm can figure that out
Yeah.
and say, okay, I'm going to hand you over to the complaint specialist agent,
Right.
just like passing a baton in a relay race.
So the customer never feels like they're talking to a wall.
Exactly.
It's smooth. It's like a natural conversation, even though it's a whole team of AIs.
A whole team behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that is genius, that handoff concept.
I think it's brilliant.
It is. It's a game changer because it lets us make these AI systems that are way, way more robust and adaptable than ever before.
Okay.
I mean, imagine an AI that could write you a poem, but then also compose the music for it
Wow.
and create a whole animated video. That kind of coordinated creativity. Unthinkable before.
That's amazing. So each agent brings like its own superpower.
Yes.
And Swarm is the thing that helps them actually combine their powers effectively.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so how does that whole handoff thing even work? What's happening under the hood?
So Swarm uses this thing called OpenAI's Chat Completions API.
Okay.
And basically, it's a way for developers to tap into OpenAI's really powerful language models
Okay.
and use them in their own apps. It's like giving these agents a way to talk to each other.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So it's the language model that lets them understand what each other is doing.
That's it. They can communicate and pass tasks back and forth without getting their wires crossed.
That makes sense. So how do we actually build all this?
Well, Swarm uses Python. It's that programming language. A
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
developers use it. Don't worry, you don't have to become a coding master to get this.
Okay, good.
But basically, think of it like giving each agent a job description, right?
Okay.
And a set of tools they can use.
Okay, so like Agent A, you're the travel expert. You're amazing with online booking systems.
Exactly. Agent B, you're the foodie. You know all the best restaurants. You give them their specialties.
Ah, I love it. So Swarm is like the framework that lets all these agents work together.
Yeah. It's like putting together your ultimate AI dream team.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Now, I know OpenAI also has that assistance API, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? Why would you use Swarm over something that's already, pre-built?
Good question. So think of the assistance API, like that Swiss Army knife of AI.
Okay.
It's great. It's dependable. You can use it for tons of things.
Right.
But Swarm's like having a whole workshop
Oh.
with every tool you could possibly want. It lets you build a custom AI system, perfectly made for what you need.
So it's about having more control, more
Yeah.
flexibility.
Exactly. If you need something really unique, something no one's ever done before,
Yeah.
or if you're pushing the boundaries of AI, Swarm gives you that freedom those building blocks.
Lets you get really creative.
Exactly. It's the difference between like a pre-made meal kit and having all the ingredients to make whatever you want.
Okay, now I'm getting hungry. But seriously, this all sounds insanely powerful. So, like, real-world applications, what kind of problems can Swarm actually solve?
The possibilities, oh, they're endless.
Yeah.
Imagine customer service bots.
Yeah.
But they don't just answer basic questions.
Yeah.
They can tackle really tricky issues.
Okay.
Because they can bring in the right AI expert for each step. Or how about personalized tutoring?
Oh, interesting.
Systems that learn how each student learns best.
Right.
And just seamlessly pass them between AI tutors who are each like amazing at teaching different things.
Oh, that's so cool. Like one for grammar, one for vocabulary.
Exactly.
That's amazing. I love that. So what about creativity?
Yes.
Could Swarm, like, unlock even more creative potential? Could we have, like, a whole team of AI agents working together to write a movie?
Absolutely. I mean, we're already seeing how creative AI can be, but imagine teams of AI agents, all with their own, like, artistic strengths, collaborating on something truly amazing.
That's incredible. That gives me chills. This could change film, music, even, like, scientific discovery. Okay, so we've talked about how this whole Swarm thing works, and wow, the potential is, like, off the charts.
It really is.
But let's come back down to earth for a sec. OpenAI keeps saying this is all still experimental.
That's important to remember. It's like any powerful tech, there's always a learning curve, right? OpenAI is really looking for feedback. How do we make Swarm even better, even easier to use? They basically want developers to help shape this thing.
That's pretty awesome when you think about it. It means, like, there's still so much room for people to experiment, to make it their own.
It's like being handed, I don't know, a box of those really cool futuristic Legos and being told, go wild, build something amazing.
I love that. So, speaking of building the future, let's focus in on one area where Swarm could really shine: education.
Ooh, yes.
Imagine language learning apps, but instead of one AI tutor trying to do it all,
Right.
you have a whole team of them.
Okay, now you're talking. Tell me more.
Okay, so you're trying to learn a new language, right?
Always.
And it's hard. But what if one AI agent was focused on just vocab,
Okay, yeah.
quizzing you on words and stuff,
Yeah.
and then another agent, they're like the grammar guru, they make those rules finally make sense.
Yes.
And then at the third one, that agent helps you sound like a native speaker with your pronunciation.
It's like having your own personal language squad. I love it.
Right, each one supporting you in the areas where you need it most.
Exactly. And then as you get better, Swarm can tell. Right. So it can switch things up, give you more practice where you're struggling, bring on new challenges,
That's incredible. It's like AI that adapts to you, not the other way around.
Exactly. This is what's so exciting. It's not just making AI smarter. It's using AI to help us be our best selves.
I'm totally with you on that. We've covered a ton today. The techie side of Swarm, the mind-blowing potential.
And we've only just scratched the surface. I mean, the beauty of this whole thing is that it's a starting point. It's a doorway to all these new ideas and ways of using AI. Stuff we can't even dream up yet, probably.
It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you really want listeners to walk away with after learning about Swarm?
I think it's this. When we stop thinking of AI as one thing and more like a team,
Right?
a team of specialists all working together, that's when things get really interesting.
I totally agree. It opens up a world of possibilities.
Exactly. And that's a future I'm incredibly excited about.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's been amazing exploring the world of AI teamwork with you today.
Absolutely. This was fun.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us on the deep dive. Keep exploring, keep asking those big questions, and we'll see you next time.